Hey, this is Seth with Electrek, and today we're in Spain to look at the Volvo EX30. Let's have a look. So we just got off our 2 days of driving this vehicle, and it's turned out to be kind of a shocker how nice it is. With the $35,000 starting price, you wouldn't necessarily immediately think, hey, this is going to be like a really solidly built Volvo. And actually, I don't know if Volvo has had in the recent history any cars in the $35,000 range, but it's also Volvo's fastest car ever. The all-wheel drive model will go 0 to 60 in about 3.4 seconds, 0 to 100 or 0 to 62 miles per hour in I think 3.6 seconds. The rear-wheel drive version, a little bit slower, 5.1 seconds, 0 to 60, 5.4 seconds, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. Still quite speedy. And so one of the really nice surprises, I guess, is that the interior is just super, super efficient, super nice. You can see the vents are kind of, there's like an external, they're outside of the tube a little bit. You have a really nice handle here. This thing's kind of floating. One important thing to note about this vehicle is that there's been a lot of cost savings, but for the right reasons and the right area. So notice on the door, there's no speakers, there's no window opening things. The window opening things are here and in the back. It is kind of weird if the driver wants to open a back window, they have to kind of reach all the way back there. So that's, one of the small problems with this vehicle. In addition, I found the screen to be a little bit small. The display, some of the readouts were a little bit tiny. I need reading glasses, so it was a little bit problematic for me at certain points. I think with a much bigger screen, this would be a little bit better of a car. And you'll notice there's nothing in the front there except this, which make sure your eyes are on the road. Moving along here, so we talked about the door. You have a lot of space down here. And it's just a really nice door closing sound. It's super solid all around. So that was kind of a good surprise. The door feels kind of light, relatively light, probably because it doesn't have any electronics in it. You'll notice here, there's just the gear here, and I don't know if that's a vent. I don't know what this is, to be honest with you, but I think it might be for the rear view mirror electronics, which you adjust on the center display. So getting in, let's pop in here real quick. So this is kind of what the drive experience is like. We're inside now, obviously, but the steering wheel has capacitive touch controls, which I want the old stuff, to be honest with you, but this is fine. It does have a stock here for the park, reverse, drive, everything you expect, and then on the other side is windshield wiper, lights, brights, turn signal, also as you would expect. It's kind of nice down here. So one of the nice things is the glove box, which it doesn't show right here. There it is. Whoops. So go back to home. Always go back to home. That's the thing here. So the glove box is there. It's pretty roomy, but it also isn't there, so it saves a little bit of space. Center console is really nice. You can pop it out for 1 or 2 cup holders, and then some extra space here. Just really like the center console. I think they did a really good job here. And then you have tons of space down here. It's not super wide, so you are sitting kind of close to the person next to you, but lots of space. And then even a false door and some charging ports down here if you want to do charging that way. Of course, most people will use this wireless charger and this wireless charger here. To start the car, you actually, most people use the phone and forget about the key cards, but you have to put a key card right here, which we had to do during this drive, which, is a little bit of a hassle when you have to switch that out with the phone, but in reality, nobody's going to really need to worry about that. As far as the sound, we were kind of blown away. Let's see if we can play some music here. So the Harman Kardon soundbar up here is all the front speaker. There's nothing in the doors. There's nothing up in the A pillar. It's just this one soundbar, and I think the idea was like, hey, I'm sitting at home and I get this great sound out of a soundbar. So why can't we just do that in the car, save money, not having to put it in the doors, which is, I think, a smart move. It sounds great. Volvo tells me that it uses both the windshield and the dashboard here as to help like point the sound and make it sound better. So I think they did a really good job there. I'm not going to get too far into the screen here. This is a prototype, and they've said that there's some updates coming, but it does use Google services. This is Google through and through. So when you're looking over, your speed and stuff is up here. It's a little bit of a reach. You kind of have to refocus your eyes a little bit. A heads-up display would have been nice. Obviously, that's going to increase the cost of the car quite a bit. I think what they probably should have done here is made a bigger display, maybe move the vents a little bit. But the vents are right here. We're not in cold weather, and it's not terribly hot here at the moment. But I wonder if this is spitting out air conditioning, if it's going to affect the screen at all, or if it's pumping out heat. The same question. Looking around the car, let's have a look here. You can see the door closed, how clean it looks. I mean, you have a huge storage area down there. Probably could have had a bigger cup holder or something. Let me turn off that music real quick. But overall, it's super solid design. This kind of reminds me of the floor of our garage a little bit. It's speckled. I think the idea is that it's supposed to be recycled, and that's kind of the idea is to let people know that it's also on the sides here. That's one of the trims. If you like that, that's great. If not, there's other trims available. But overall, it's very simple. One of the other things I really like here is the rear view mirrors. All have almost no chrome, no space around the edges. So you're getting pretty much 100% usage, reflective usage. So you're able to make the window pane smaller, and this is less intrusive, I guess. Up top, you got hazards, SOS call. You got heating the windshield, I guess. I don't know why that's up there. And then you have lights as well. So again, really minimalist interior, very comfortable seating here, front and back. You got the little Swedish flag there, even though this car is made in China, which I think, there's really nothing to complain about this car. I mean, all the I would say downsides are kind of compromises used to keep the weight down or the cost down. But the fact that it's made in China is going to be a problem for a lot of people. And it's not a jingoistic thing. I think it's the political issues with the country. I know the U.S. and China have kind of a very it's a cold war type of thing, but I think that they would I think Volvo might have made a different decision had they known 3 years ago what the U.S.-China relations were going to be like. They told me that it would take about 18 months to spin up the South Carolina plant to build this vehicle, and my response to that was why won't you do that? Why don't you just do that? I think this car is going to be super popular. they can also spin up one of their European plants in 18 months to build this car as well. So, you know, with the price here, I think this is going to be a super popular vehicle. We took it off-road. It does off-road pretty well. It's going to have a couple other nice packages. We talked about the all-wheel drive version is super nice. And then let's get out of the car here. Let's look at the back a little bit. So this is kind of a neat little thing. You got some storage down there. So there's not a lot of room back there. That's one of the compromises. There is room for 3 people back here. Obviously there's a headrest there. And I think you can pull this down, but I'm not sure how this works exactly. We'll move on from that. All right, so you actually can store stuff for people in the back. You have this drawer that you can pull out. And then you have more storage here. I believe this is actually even a charging area. And then you have the windows there. And then you have 2 USB-C ports there. A lot of space back here. Great for storage of books and magazines, stuff for kids to do in the car. And so here, I'm going to pop in here. It's not super roomy, but you know, at 6 feet tall, it's not too bad for me either. I can certainly be back here for, you know, whatever amount of time if I'm going to the airport or whatever. I don't think it's too bad to pick up people from the airport, for instance, or, you know, go on trips around town. I don't think adults would prefer to be back here on a long trip, to be honest, but also the glass ceiling makes it feel a lot roomier. You also have tons of headroom. You can see my head has some space up there, and it's really not too bad in the back. It's, you know, we have a Chevy Bolt at home. It's similar to that, so it's not bad. And also we have these nice door handles back here. Again, there's no window controls here, and there's no speakers, unless that is a speaker. I don't know. All right, I'm gonna have to find out about that. That looks like a speaker. Right behind the driver is the charging area. This is obviously Europe, so we're gonna have the CCS combo, CCS2. There looks like there could be room for another thing there. In the US, this is going to have CCS at launch, but pretty soon after, it's going to move to Tesla NACS adapter, which will allow this to, and they'll also send out every single one of these will have a NACS adapter that will allow it to charge at Tesla charging stations. Tons of room in the back. It doesn't look like it, but it's deep. This thing will actually, you can lift it up and make it flat so you have a higher back, or you can do like it was before, which I think most people will do. Put it up like that, and then you have a deeper back. And then you still, even with this, you still have another layer down here where you can store your charging cables and stuff like that. And then this is a powered door. So I'd really like this look at night. The lighting here is really well done. There's different packages for the wheels and the lighting in front. Take a look around here. I talked about the lights or the rear view mirrors before. There's very little in the way of chrome around the edges. So that makes it more aerodynamic and also better visibility for the back end. The Volvo EX30 really shined on the road and off the road, as the case was. We took the Highlands above Barcelona as a new testing ground, even though that wasn't necessarily on Volvo's prepackaged plan. We decided to try to find some good scenery which took us to some wineries, some backcountry roads, and some places we just didn't even expect to be. But again, the Volvo EX30 handled all the off-road challenges we threw at it really well. 7-inch ground clearance, those relatively big tires, and all that power. It's not just going 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds, but it's also going up a hill with ton of electric vehicle torque, accelerating out of muddy potholes, and kind of everything in between. So not only is this a great on-road vehicle, great handling, and great footing, but it goes off-road. It's not a sedan type of vehicle, which won't hit those dirt roads. So that's Electrek's first drive of the Volvo EX30. Can't tell you how much I'm impressed by this vehicle. I'm ready to buy one. I was surprised that the rear-wheel drive version was almost as powerful and fast and as exciting as the all-wheel drive version. So I would encourage those that are kind of on the fence to kind of give the rear-wheel drive version a try. And that's it for us. Remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.